Hello folks, this is Shawn Jadrnicek, Clemson Extension Horticulture Agent, and I'm here at the Urban Permaculture Institute of the Southeast in beautiful Walterboro, South Carolina. I just wanted to give you all an update on some of the projects I've been working on. One of my latest projects is a branch drain gray water system. This system takes the gray water from my kitchen sink, and gray water is water that comes from your sink, shower, washing machine, all the wastewater that leaves your house that is not toilet water. Toilet water is known as black water. So it takes the gray water from my house and puts it out into the landscape where the plants can utilize that resource. Also has some nutrients in it that plants can utilize as well as the water. So it comes downhill, flows downhill through this pipe, and then it goes through these flow splitters, these double L flow splitters, and then travels downhill again to these endpoints where I have basically an upside down plastic pot, and I've placed that pot in a basin right here. And the final step here is to fill this basin with mulch, left it open to show y'all, and cut a hole in the top of the pot, and then place a paver or stepping stone on top of the pot right here. And then, of course, you put your plants all around the basin that can then tap into the water that's coming from your sink. So it's a free water and nutrient source that you can recycle from your house. So it's best to use plants, it's recommended to use plants if you're going to eat them, not to use root crops. This right here is a Jerusalem artichoke. It is a root crop, so hopefully I won't get sick, but I'll keep you all informed. And in most states in the United States, this type of system is illegal. There are 14 states that will allow you to do this. The states that have the best laws are Arizona, New Mexico, and Texas. So hopefully it's currently illegal in South Carolina, but hopefully we can work to get those laws changed so that people can recycle their water and help alleviate aquifer depletion and depletion of water and reservoirs as well. So let me take y'all to the back of the property, and I'll show you some of my other projects. Okay, this is the new pumping system that I've added for the recirculation system in my pond. And here's the priming pot right here, and this ultra-efficient inline pump back here. And around the joints of the system, I've used this flexible PVC pipe, and this reduces the loss, the pressure loss at the joints, because the curves are smoother. So it goes through this priming pot, pulls it in from the grow-out pond, goes through this priming pot, through the inline pump, and then back into my system.
Hi.
Okay folks, so this is where the water is coming out of. It goes into this gravel bed right here, which acts as a biofilter. And then it flows over into my settling pond right there. And all around the settling pond I've got my shiitake production. Let me zoom in on those logs so you can see some of the mushrooms. This is my first really good flush. I inoculated in the fall, and it's now end of April. See some of them sprouting out of the logs there. You can have some growing underwater. And then it flows into the settling pond right here where a lot of the solids will settle out. Okay, so I'm getting a lot more flow over my little waterfall right there now. And I've added, there's the pickerel weed, edible young leaves and edible seeds. I've added a bridge to the pond now, and I basically did that by a tree that I took out to get more sunlight, and I took my chainsaw and I ran it down the middle of the tree and then folded it over in half. So that's the tree there, and I coated that with some linseed oil to help protect it. That's oak, so I'm hoping to get a good 5 years out of that. And then there's the grow out pond. A little low right now, it hasn't rained in a couple weeks. Kind of hard to see it through the jungle. You can see the Tradescania hyensis, the spiderwort, edible flowers, and edible young leaves. Okay, so we're here at the Urban Permaculture Institute. My daughter and I just went around to harvest forage for some food. Show you some of the things that we found. So this is Sage Jadrnicek. Sage, how old are you?
8 years old.
Okay, you want to show us some of the stuff that we found?
Yeah. Here is pickerel weed.
Okay, when you talk, you got to face the camera so we can hear you.
Here is pickerel weed. You can eat it cooked and eat the stalk or the leaf, top part.
That's Smilax.
Smilax. And you can eat it raw or cooked.
What does it taste like?
It tastes a lot like asparagus.
Okay. And how do you know how do you harvest that?
Just harvest the top when it gets really, really tall. And the part that comes off is mostly very, very tender and tastes good.
So you just break off the tip.
Just break it off. Here is a grape leaf. And you eat it cooked, and you can wrap stuff inside of it, however you want to cook it. Here is kudzu. You can eat it cooked or raw. Here is bamboo shoots. You peel it. And this one, you see, is already peeled. And then you eat the stalk of it. Just chop it up. And
Saute it?
yeah, saute it. And mostly you pick them when they're 6 inches, but we picked this one a little bit taller than 6 inches. Okay. And here is colored flowers. They're very tasty. And here's colors. Here's brown nut. You can cook it whichever way you want it. I like it fried. Here is shiitake mushrooms. They taste very, very good, and you cook them. Here is spiderwort flowers, and you can eat them raw or cooked. Here's oxalis, only a little bit because it has stuff in it that you don't want to eat too much of. And here,
Face the camera.
and here's hot tuna, and you can eat it raw or cooked. That's all the stuff that we've harvested today.
Okay, wait, tell everyone about what happened when we tried to catch the bass.
Well, today we found a very big earthworm.
How big?
As big as a lizard. As big as I'm spraying my hands out.
Look like a small snake, huh?
Yeah. But still we haven't gotten a bite yet from any bass. But we're harvesting bass and we want to fish them all out right now because in order to put in the tilapia, and I like playing out here, playing with the minnows and the tadpoles. And
Tell everyone about the frogs that came in. The southern toad.
Well, the southern toad came in one day because they knew they wanted to mate before it rained because they knew it rained the next day. And then they laid piles of eggs in the water. There were thousands. And now there's so many tadpoles. And
You catch them with your friends?
yeah, I catch them with my friends and I play with them.
Have any of them metamorphosized into toads?
Not yet, but soon there definitely will because they're getting really, really big right now.
Cool. Anything else you want to say?
No. Thank
Okay.
you.
Good 15 minutes of harvesting.